You guys grow up in one of the hardest times to be a young individual in the history of sports. Everything you do is on display 24/7. You have no choice, right? Like if you pitch really well somewhere, it's gonna be on Twitter. If you pitch really poorly somewhere and you're well known, it's gonna be on Twitter. Let's say you're not well known yet, somebody's searching for you, they're gonna find it. So I think it's really tough because there's no hiding, right? You are who you are and everybody can see it based on statistics, right? So you just asked like, what's up with this guy who has obviously a ton of confidence, really talented, unbelievably athletic, but what? Can't throw strikes, can't put it all together in high pressure situations. So what I would argue, especially from the mental perspective, is that individual probably needs to speak with somebody that can create a vulnerability-based trust relationship with them so that ultimately they can figure out why the outside identity, their ego, is not matching their internal identities, right? So like the person you're in fact mentioning, their internal identity is in complete disarray and nothing like what is being presented out into the world. So internally, right, they are, just because we both know this person, right, that is not the image they have of themselves. That is the image they want everybody to have of them, but unfortunately the image they have of themselves does not match that. So when they get into high pressure situations and everything starts to take over, they can't manage the struggle between the two of them. Now, you have some people who are the opposite of that, right? They present out into the world, they push all this anxiety out into the world, but actually internally, they're actually superiorly confident in themselves when they get in those situations. And then they actually end up performing really well as opposed to like just tanking as though what you think would actually happen based on how they talk and how they do those things. And people that end up actually projecting a lot of that anxiety or negativity and things like that, it's actually a cathartic mechanism, meaning like that they're actually like soothing themselves by getting that out of them, right? And they're like putting it out there in the world because they're also self-serving in the sense that they're looking for you to say, no, come on, dude, look at how many times you have performed well. Look at how many this, look at how many that. And it ends up reinforcing that internal identity that they possess. I think competitiveness is interesting, right? Because there has to be an underlying level of confidence in order to be competitive, or else, like, give me something you suck at. Like, are you any good at golf? Okay, you're gonna be really competitive when you go out there and play. You might be competitive at the start, right? But after you get what? What's going to occur 6th hole? You're gonna be frustrated as shit. You're gonna be like, I suck at this. So what's gonna fail? Your resiliency, your capacity to stay focused, your capacity to stay task-oriented, your capacity to drive yourself to be more successful, to do what you need to do, to understand that I can't overswing, I can't do whatever might be the flaw that's going on right now. You can't control your mental landscape anymore because you weren't resilient. So you lost the capacity to focus and attend to what you needed to do. So ultimately, at the end of the day, there has to be a level of confidence that underpins competitiveness, and you have to be massively resilient over the course of the competition. Kobe Bryant's like famous like job not done. Like that's a great ideology there to speak to that point, right? Just because they won or whatever it was, right? He didn't have the mentality that he was done. So he was trying to remain resilient and remain focused throughout that time period because he knew I had to keep pushing here. I have to stay focused on what I need to accomplish right now.